Hello all, before we see the demonstration on how to paint clouds, I would like to talk about what makes a painting work. It is a good reference. So here in front of me I have a cloud, and we generally know that the sky is blue whereas the cloud is of a whiter tone. But there is one factor that affects all kind of still life, landscape, portrait, all kind of painting, which is the light source. Generally, the color of the cloud is affected by either the sunlight or the moonlight. So in this particular reference, we have the sunlight. We have, because the sun is of a warmer color, the shadows are very blue and muted, and as we move towards the lighter side, it's white. So like all other objects, even cloud has a form shadow, cast shadow, middle tone, lighter tone, and the highlight. And you need to paint it accordingly. So in my next reference, I have here is a very warm cloud with a very muted sky. I'm considering that the sun rays or the sunlight is coming from this direction, hitting the topmost part of the cloud, making it really warm, whereas the shadows are cooler in color. We can see the shadow color is a mixture of blue and magenta, whereas the highlight side is of a pure yellow white tone. Now when we go back and look at the color wheel, so we have two yellows on the top. One is the cooler yellow, one is the warmer yellow. Similarly, two blues and two reds. One is magenta and one is the red. So when I know that my highlight is yellow and my shadow is between magenta and blue, which is again complementary to each other, I have to travel from either blue, magenta, red, orange to yellow to get that lightest tone. So I'm repeating this once again. My shadows are of a blue magenta tone, and the color scheme have to travel from the blue magenta tone towards the yellow. So I have to follow the path of the color wheel. The second example here, you can see how the light source, the direction of light source can make the entire composition different. So the light source is coming from the bottom. I think it's a early morning scene, and thus the light is hitting the lower part of the clouds, whereas the top part is completely in shadow. You can see a beautiful transition between the light and the shadow side. The light side is so bright, it has a lot of yellow, orange and white, whereas the shadow is blue and gray. It's very muted. Here again, my last reference is showing a beautiful use of color wheel and both the cooler colors versus the warmer color. You can see the cooler color starts from the blue sky and slowly it's moving towards the end point where the sun is setting down. So keep in mind the color wheel when you paint the clouds, how the color travels from blue to magenta to red, orange and then the yellow. And secondly, keep in mind that the image must have strong light and shadow. Go for a more light and less shadow, and that's all for today.